Welcome back to All Over the Map. Really glad to have you joining us today, and I'm really excited to be joined by Colin Murray of Dane by Local right here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Colin. So, full disclosure, we know each other well, and I've known you for a while. Definitely a proponent for Dane by Local. But I think we're approaching a really important time. That's why we wanted to have you on to talk about the shopping season, the importance of small business, and not forgetting about the small businesses during shopping season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in coming up to what we call Shift Your Shopping with Dane by Local. And yes, it's a very important time of the year for us to be paying attention to local businesses.
We're going to examine that a little more, but first I want to jump back and have you talk a little bit about what is Dane by Local, because I think there's a lot of people that maybe have seen the logo, heard of it, but don't really understand what it is and what it does.
Yeah, the logo is really probably the thing that is most recognized for most people. They may not totally understand what we're all about, but they recognize the logo. So in fact, one year we tracked how many people or how many views we had out there as far as the logo was concerned through the course of the year. And we had over 8 million views during the course of the year. So we try to get the logo out there as much as we can. People are seeing it. They do recognize it. That's good. But as far as Dane by Local is concerned, we're really about supporting local businesses throughout not just Dane County, but the contiguous counties. So it's South Central Wisconsin. The vast majority of our members are in Dane County, and the vast majority of those are in Madison, but we do spread out from there. So any local business, meaning that their headquarters are here in South Central Wisconsin, are ones that we're interested in helping support and want to work with them. In our mission, comes down to really 3 words. It's collaborate, educate, and promote. So we're collaborating with like-minded organizations. We're educating the public and our members on supporting local, so efforts like this video, and as far as promoting our members to the general viewership out there, so that more people know about the businesses and support them. So that's in a nutshell what we're all about.
Well, and it's, I think some people see Dane by Local, and they assume it's just for retail shops or just for restaurants and businesses and things like that. But there's quite a few nonprofit members too, right?
Yeah. That is a common misconception that people think it's food or retail. Nonprofits is in our top 4 categories as far as members are concerned. There's over 100 nonprofit organizations that are part of Dane by Local. Some of them are very small. We just had the Dane County diaper program join us the other day. They're brand new, giving out diapers in the community to those that are in need. But places like Project Home that have been with us for a number of years, a little larger organizations that are part of Dane by Local as well, and find benefits in being a member of our organization.
So give me a quick rundown on, and you don't have to cover everything, but tell me kind of from what to what does the membership cover? So you've got companies and businesses and services of all kinds. Give us a quick breakdown of some of that.
Yeah. So the benefits are endless. And I forget all of them from time to time. Probably the most visible ones that most people recognize would be the networking events that we have. So we have a morning breakfast that takes place 6 times a year, which has some sort of an educational component to it. As far as the programming is concerned, keeps everyone up to date on what's taking place at Dane by Local. Little food involved, so usually it's a nice way to start out the day. On the opposite months, when we don't have a breakfast, we have an evening social. That's a little more casual, and it's usually highlighting one of our members' businesses, so they want to show it off for some reason. And that's more of a come and go as you please. Stay 10 minutes, stay 3 hours, whatever you want. Again, food is involved. Sometimes alcohol is even involved.
Well, those two bring people out, right? I mean, that's a good draw.
Yeah, right. So those are the probably the most visible ones. We also have the printed guide that we put out once a year. There are 25,000 copies that are printed each year. We've already ran out for this year, so the guide continues to be very popular. out there. Print is not dead yet. We still are using quite a few of the guides. And then we've also got the online version of the guide, which is our directory through the website that lists all of our members. So that's where you can track down if you need a plumber or an electrician or want to buy a gift or whatever the case might be. You can search the website through the directory, and probably you can find what you're looking for with some sort of local business. If you can't, you can always call the office and we can help you out that way as well. So those are some of the major benefits of being a member.
And I'm sorry, the website, did you say that?
DaneBuyLocal.com.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
and it's BUY local. Sometimes people forget the U in there. So yeah.
So with all the membership and the diversity of it, like you just kind of alluded to, and you talked about the benefits and things like that. But I know, for example, there's a lot of not only member to member business done, but there's a lot of business from the public to members. And so I think to just educate people a little bit more about some of the resources that are out there locally. Again, give us a few more examples of the diversity of the types of services members provide to the public.
We start with retail. That's very common for people to think about that, especially coming up here. So there's a number of retail businesses that are in there. A good example I use for myself is a couple of years ago, my dishwasher died, and so I needed a new dishwasher. And the other appliances I knew were going to be not far behind, so I decided I'd just replace all 4 pieces. I went to American TV, who was just closing at that point, and got a price from them. And I went to Best Buy and checked theirs, and they were pretty close between the two of them. And then it comes to mind that we have a member, Brothers Maine. So I went there and checked out. They were $400 cheaper than the other 2 choices. So obviously that's where I got my appliances from, and I was supporting a local business. That's a good example of being able to support local businesses and make a small change for them, making more reasonable for them. But it could also be, a restaurant. You want something different, so you can go through the site and find all sorts of different choices on restaurants. But perhaps the occasion comes up that you need an attorney. So we've got a number of attorneys that are listed. One of them that we work with quite a bit is Boardman and Clark. They do a great job in working with small businesses in particular. So if you need something, they probably can handle it for you. If you need accounting, we've got a number of businesses that come under that. Even things like office supplies. We've got Easy Office Products that does a great job in customer service and in trying to help you take care of things. So pretty much anything you need, we've probably got it.
And I love to use the website for that and also the guide for that based on my location. If the website's easier to access, you can find those members, search by criteria, search by location, proximity. And then also the guide's fantastic. Where can people find the guide?
Yeah, the guide is all over the place. So a lot of our members have it. Willie Street Co-op, the Student Union down on campus. Metcalf's has it. The typical places that you'd pick up Isthmus or one of the other publications that are free, we try to have our publication there as well. So I think there's about 400 locations around town that we've got the guide available. If for some reason you can't find it, call us at the office and we'll send a copy to you.
Yeah, it's a great resource for it. Like Colin said, if you are looking for any type of service or a supply or just to have a fun night out, a place to go, they're all in there. They're all in there. They're all local businesses. They're all people in your community that are investing in your community, making it unique and special, and providing you with opportunities to experience different things that otherwise wouldn't be there if all the stores were the same. So that's one of the reasons I became so active in this group is I love the the uniqueness of it. How I love the people in Dane by Local too. I mean, it like you said, where even though a lot of the businesses are maybe similar and might be direct competitors, they don't feel like competitors because they're all a part of this group and they all understand that they're all promoting each other, and that helps all of them. So I love that about this group.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed as well is that they'll find ways to collaborate together, even though it would seem like they would be competitors. I think of that down on State Street, Little Luxuries had Anthology move right next door, and they've got similar types of products, but they were welcoming and they're working with each other, and it's great collaboration to see that sort of thing take place.
So we're coming up on the shopping season, like we talked about. It's obviously with the holidays, that's a time where a lot of people get out and shop. I know there's a dedicated Small Business Saturday, right, which is obviously the focal point. So let's touch on that, and then we'll talk about just the season in general. But tell us about Small Business Saturday.
So Small Business Saturday is the Saturday right after Thanksgiving. So, Black Friday, of course, is a big deal for the national big box stores out there and small box as well. There's really a big push for that. But there hadn't been anything that was for the local businesses to really focus attention on them. There was a group that got together and put together Small Business Saturday. I think it's been going now 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. And they have the support of American Express. So they're the ones that back it. In the first couple of years, Dane by Local did not participate in Small Business Saturday. One of the concerns that we had is that American Express was involved. Here's another big organization that was out there doing their own thing. And the promotion that they had was very centralized towards American Express credit cards and not really focusing the attention on the small business. And so the organization that organized Small Business Saturday went to American Express and said, could you change the way you handle this and focus on the small business? And by the way, it's brought to you by American Express. And they were willing to do that. They made that change. And so once that happened, we felt comfortable then supporting the small business effort, Small Business Saturday. So we've done that ever since. So we try to kick it off with a press conference, which we'll be doing on November 16th. So to bring attention to Small Business Saturday and Shift Your Shopping. That gives an opportunity to get the word out there, to spread the word about supporting local businesses. So Small Business Saturday is a nationwide effort that we do here at a local level. And it's not just Dane by Local, it's many of the other Chamber of Commerces that are involved as well, Verona, Middleton, Sun Prairie, virtually all of them. So they're all involved with Small Business Saturday, and we bring all of them in as well. So many of them will be at the press conference and will speak as well as far as the importance of Small Business Saturday and Shift Your Shopping is concerned.
So talking with Colin Murray, the director of Dane by Local here today on this edition of All Over the Map. You mentioned also Shift Your Shopping in that last statement. So what's Shift Your Shopping?
So Shift Your Shopping is again, a nationwide program, but it's during the months of November and December. And this was something that the trade organization for buy local groups around the country called AMIBA, which is American Independent Business Alliance, was involved in and helped support Shift Your Shopping. So a number of, we're part of AMIBA. We're part of that organization. There are about 60 or 70 buy local groups from around the country that are part of AMIBA. There are probably about 125 or so buy local groups around the country total that we're aware of. In Wisconsin, there's one other one that's part of AMIBA, which is in Milwaukee, and they call it Local First Milwaukee. There's another group down in Rockford would be the next closest one to us. They're kind of sprinkled throughout the country. Shift Your Shopping is, again, kind of the umbrella of various activities that take place with Small Business Saturday and Giving Tuesday and Plaid Monday, and there's a number of different things out there. So we participate in Shift Your Shopping for November, December, and Small Business Saturday, and we do Giving Tuesday as well. And if some of the independent businesses want to do more than that with Plaid Monday or whatever, they're welcome to do that on their own. But we don't necessarily do anything special for those types of things.
So I just have to explain to the people watching this before we go further on anything of substance. I'm wearing headphones just so I can make sure that all the sound is coming through everything the way I want it to. Colin chose not to wear headphones. It's optional he can still hear me. We're sitting right next to each other, so it's not required that he wears headphones. But anyway, that's why I have headphones. He doesn't. So talking with Colin Murray of Dane by Local. So Colin, tell me a little bit about the importance of shopping locally and what that does for communities and what that does for the people in those communities.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference to the local business if we shop locally. Certainly the big box stores, a number of them are having struggles these days. Walmart and Target, Sears is having major trouble. They just filed bankruptcy. There's a big question mark whether they'll be around in another year or so. They're definitely struggling, but they've got a lot of resources in their pocket. They've got a lot of different things that they can do. Sometimes they make bad choices, and that's why they run into trouble. But overall, they're going to survive. So we're not going to see Walmart or Target going out of business anytime soon. They've got the resources and the knowledge and good people to keep those things flowing, and that's fine. We're not here to bash those organizations, and we don't want any of our members or the public to feel guilty about going and shopping at Target. What we're asking is, can you give the local guy a shot? Can you give him a chance? So if you need some sort of a kitchen gadget, could you go to Orange Tree Imports on Monroe Street and check them out to see if they have what you want? If they don't have it and Target does have it, great, go to Target. That's fine, but give those local businesses a chance. Instead of just automatically going to Walmart and filling the shopping cart up. To the local businesses, that makes all the difference in the world, whether they stay open or not. They don't need the major sales that Target needs to keep that store open, but they do need some sales to stay open. And right now, these days, online sales are really affecting everybody, and the local businesses are really feeling the pinch on that. Every day, I hear one of our members say that Amazon is really hurting us. And unfortunately, we've lost a number of members. They've closed because of competition from Amazon. That's a shame that happens. Some really great stores. So the latest one that I'm aware of is Capitol Kids, right up on the Capitol Square. Great toy store, and yet she just wasn't able to compete against Amazon, and so it's gone. It's a shame. It's really a shame. You walk into these local businesses and they'll recognize you. You can have a conversation with the owner many times. You can ask for something special, and if they don't have it in the store, they know where to find it or try to get it for you. You don't get that customer service from Target. They might know where it is in the store, or they might not know where it is in the store.
Yeah.
So the customer service level is greatly improved, and you're not necessarily spending more for the same product that you would buy at the national brands.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I mean, just shopping and paying more attention myself is that a lot of the small shops, if you look at certain things in a big box store, some things are cheaper, sure, but then other things are actually more expensive. So they kind of balance it out if you're not paying attention, just assuming everything is lower priced at say, a Target, Walmart, what have you. So, look at those things. The other thing is, like you said, the experience that you get from going into those local shops, you can feel, it's a owner and or a small staff that's really connected to that place. and they love it, and they're passionate about that store, and you feel that, and that's what you get in the customer service and the experience and just everything doing business with them, and you build some relationships there. So one other note for you Fitbit users, if you go to multiple stores, you get some more steps in. So just a thought. So talking with Colin Murray of Dane by Local about shopping locally, about the season coming up, about Small Business Saturday and other things. So Colin, this time of year, obviously so much shopping is done. What have been kind of the trends for local businesses and what they've seen in more traffic since there's been efforts like Shifter Shopping and Small Business Saturday? Have they been doing better in the holiday seasons?
Yeah, when the downturn in the economy happened, that was really a struggle for many of the local businesses, including retail. So they have definitely seen improvement from that area. So that's a good thing. And that's why they do participate in things like Small Business Saturday. There's definitely more traffic coming in the store. They're seeing increased sales. And then that carries on throughout the rest of the holiday season as well. So it's really a launching point. So it isn't just a matter of that one day going to support the local businesses. We want to continue to do that throughout the holiday and through the course of the whole year as well. But it definitely does make a difference. It's making an impact. So it's good to see that the results of that, and that's why the program continues year after year.
Do you have any recent numbers on the amount of money locally that's going to local businesses? I know at times we've talked about that in the past, about how many people are shopping. What's the percentage of sales going to local businesses? Is that trending in the right direction still, or how are things there?
Yeah, the most recent reports that I've seen show that for every dollar spent, 73 cents with a local store stays in the economy. If you spend $1 at a national brand, it's 43 cents that stays in the local economy. And of course, if you shop online, none of it stays locally. It all gets sent somewhere else. So it does make a difference. And why does that make a difference? Why is that important as far as keeping 73 cents in the economy here locally? It helps with things like taxes. Which is why the city and the county are both members of Dane by Local. They see the importance of that. So tax revenue is what they're based on, is how they function. So they're definitely interested in seeing those things continue to grow. It's really important to them to see that the money stays in the local economy here.
Well, and I think the other thing about, again, about local shops and people that have invested in making communities unique by having their own store with unique items, with a whole experience that's different than anywhere else, is that those are people that live there. Those might be your neighbors. Those might be people that live down the street that you maybe don't know that's where they live yet, but they're investing in your community and they live right there. So you're supporting that much more. You're helping to make their business a success and make it viable, and helping them stay in your community doing what they're doing. So, I mean, I love that whole aspect of it and how it's all connected. And I just think this message about getting, shopping in locally whenever possible, when it makes sense, and sometimes, making an appointed effort to do it, even when you might pay a few cents more here at a local place, because you're helping that person, that money's staying in your community, and at the same time, it's benefiting you as well. So
yeah. The other thing that occurs to me here is those local businesses are the ones that are supporting nonprofits like you and I are involved in. If you go talk to Target or Penny's or Walmart, keep picking on the same ones there.
Well, those are the ones that come to mind. I mean, it's just,
they're probably not going to give a donation for your silent auction or sponsor an event for you or something of that nature. But you go to the local businesses; those are the ones that are supporting nonprofit organizations like Dane by Local and Project Home. So that makes all the difference in the world. It just that's why we're able to exist, is because of that support that they provide back to us.
That's a great point. I mean, just in my experience, trying to, have fun doing fundraising, but also recruiting donations, things like that. Those local places can make a decision right away. Whereas if you approach some of the bigger places and you have to, it's a very difficult process, lengthy process, and then a lot of times you have no idea what the result will be until months later, and you're trying to plan or coordinate some sort of effort or event to give back to your community, and you don't know that you can count on that. But you can have a sit down and face to face with a business owner, or a phone call, and bam, you get the commitment right there, and you're ready to go. So I love that about working with local businesses too.
Yeah, it's great to see, and I experience it all the time. We're all constantly working with the businesses on various projects, and they're very generous. It just blows me away. We just had an effort with Badger Barter in doing some fundraising with Sun Prairie and the explosion that happened there. So Badger Barter came to us and they wanted to do something. They put together an online auction that we helped them support. And when we reached out to various businesses to ask for a donation, no one said no on the local level. Every single one that we asked said yes. So that was great. And the donations that they gave were just incredible. It wasn't just a $50 gift certificate. In one case, it was $1,000 worth of $50 gift cards that they gave away. I mean, it was just incredible. So it raised over $11,000 that all went to the relief fund. We were very proud to be able to support that and to work with Badger Barter on that to put that effort together. So it's a great example of local businesses supporting other local businesses.
So we've covered you should shop locally, think locally whenever possible throughout the year, but don't forget about the local shops this holiday season as well. Colin, when we talk about Dane by Local, you mentioned a few. I just want to give a little bit more information about what Dane by Local does and hopes. I know you mentioned some of the events, the breakfast events, the social events, things like that. Are there a few special events throughout the year too? Do you want to mention any of those while we're at it?
Yeah, we're always working on something. I've always got something up my sleeve. Probably drive a few people crazy. Just recently, we had what we call the Biz Awards, Dane by Local Business Awards, where we recognize some of our members that are doing special things in the community and for Dane by Local. So we just had that event at ProMega, who's one of our members. So we had a nice reception there, and then the awards presentation. That was all recorded by Channel 57, and there is actually a half-hour segment that you can watch the program that they kind of summarize the various winners. We had 10 winners that were recognized this year. Great event. It's probably my favorite event of the year. Lots of energy in the room with the awards taking place there. Then we also have Independence Week that takes place during the summer. We have a Biz Expo that we do in the end of June. There is Eat Local, Give Local, which is a fundraiser for us that takes place in August. And there's a number of others as well. So it seems like there's always something brewing. The next one coming up for us will be Winter Indulgence, which will be in February. We're still confirming the location, but we're getting close on that. I think we're in pretty good shape there. And that is another one that involves alcohol, so that should be a popular event.
So these things obviously are available to members, but also all of them open to the public, correct?
Yeah. We want the public to experience these things, so virtually all of them, I can't think of any that are open to the public as well. They can purchase tickets online and come enjoy the evening with us.
Come by, experience what it's like, experience the people, and you'll get hooked as well, I'll tell you. One more thing, Colin, what do you hope Dane by Local can do and continue to do for local businesses moving forward? Because we didn't even talk about this. 15 years coming up on a big anniversary, right, of the organization. Yeah. So 15 years is a big deal. What do you see moving forward after this point?
Yeah, 2004 is when we started. So I missed the first meeting, so I was in the second meeting, which was down on Monroe Street. And there were about 20 people that were in the room at that point. And we didn't have an official membership at that point. It was just whoever showed up type thing. it's nice to say that out of those 20 people, virtually all of them are still in business and are still members of Dane Buy Local. So it's good to see. So we're going to celebrate that throughout the course of this year in 2019. Coming up starting in January at our January breakfast, January 8th. It'll be at the Eastside Club. We'll be recognizing some of those long-term members that have been with us and celebrating that throughout the course of the year. So that's really something we're looking forward to. And there's always changes and ideas out on the table that we're looking at. We continue to grow. We're not specifically looking to be 1,000 members or something like that. Right now, we're about 600 members. If we hit 1,000 members, that's great. But we really are interested in the quality of our membership. So we want to make sure that we're providing the services that the members are looking for. So we're constantly talking to them about what do you want, what do you need, and how can we help. So we pay close attention to that, and so based on the feedback that we receive from the members, then is really the direction that we take moving forward.
Well, coming up on 15 years, quite an accomplishment. Congratulations,
Yeah,
and
thank
here's
you.
to another good 15.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. It's been fun to watch the organization grow. It blows me away. So when I went to that first meeting, I never expected to be running the thing. So.
Well, thanks to Colin Murray of Dane Buy Local, the director, and I'm Jason Hapen with All Over the Map. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you again soon.